Welcome back, everybody. This is God Bless Golf. As always, joined by my man Chip Brook over here to the right. How we doing, Panda?
Good morning. I'm doing great. God bless golf, Richie Spice. Good to see you. Timmy Tucker may or may not join us today. He's in the middle of a little something with a kid's life on the line. Not like tragically, but for golf, Ben James. Um, yeah, doing great, man. Just loving each day that we get closer to summer being over.
Amen. Amen. Look, if it's at this point, if it's not going to end soon enough, school going back and the heat's not going to turn, these boys this weekend and the next 3 weeks coming up for on the golf course are just going to die. It's hotter than Hades out there. We got a lot of good things coming up. Probably the most
Yeah.
popular golf tournament of the year going on this week. It's really when we get to watch all 120 players grind because it means that much. So I'll Chipper let us out there with our fellow God Bless Golf team member here. He's got a little bit of busy day today. They're going off in the ultimate group. Ben James out there having a great week, little 62, 67 to start it off up there with Bo Hostler. Panda, have you caught any? Have you seen how the man's played? Obviously, had a sweet holdout yesterday, but what have you seen so far? What are you looking forward to this weekend?
Yeah, excuse me. I've watched a lot of golf, and to piggyback on what you're saying, this really is a fun time of year, and it's a fun event because what you are seeing is guys literally playing for their livelihood to keep going, and not really their livelihood. They're all going to be alive next week, whether they make this or not. But it certainly changes a lot of people's lives in a positive way, and then maybe some guys that have been doing this a long time, they see the end is near. Uh, I saw Tony Finau putt with one hand yesterday and shot 66 to make the cut.
No way.
Very
Is that
relatable.
real?
Oh, he
All
really,
day?
and I mean, all day. And for those Tiger lovers that know Tiger always said, if it didn't look so weird, I would putt with one hand all the time. It is pretty amazing when your left hand is off the club, how actually decent you are as a putter. That left hand can be nasty sometimes as a guide. But to see Ben play well, first hole of the day, obviously he holes out. He missed a couple putts, made a couple bogeys, then made a couple putts. However you want to slice it, this guy's been a professional for less than 2 months. Well, let's call it 2 months, almost to the day. This is, I believe, their 7th straight tournament. He's made every cut, and this is the second. He's not in the lead. He's one back of Bo Hostler, but this is the second event he's played in as not even a real rookie yet, where he's either been in the lead or one off the lead after 2 rounds. So clearly, everything that Ben is doing is working. I know, obviously, as you get into this tour life, there's some things you're trying to fine tune, but his ball striking is elite. My favorite thing about watching Ben play is he does not maximize his irons. If it's between a 7 and a 6, he will hit 6 a lot. He is a
Let's talk
golf
about that
shot
for a second. Let's
kind
talk
of
about
guy.
that for a second.
Okay,
Yeah,
go.
I just and I'm glad you brought that up. This is not on script, so I'm sorry to interrupt here, but had a
Yeah,
nephew
no,
get a
go.
set of new Mizuno JPX Modus 115 irons. Shout out, Dylan. Congratulations on your new irons. And my first comment to him was, "Do we even understand how to control?" And what's going to happen. And I watching that swing yesterday from Ben, it was a nice shoulder high finish. And you're like, okay, you're right. Iron game is about control. And when you can gain strokes from the fairway, I think you can beat a lot of people in your Saturday or Sunday group. Hitting the fairway and hitting the green is definitely more important than learning how to get up and down or make putts for all you high end amateurs out there. So love to see a guy like him be a true scientist, dial in everything, in terms of how he swings it and how he gets his numbers out. It's awesome to see. I love watching Jackson Coyven, but man, his back problems in the future got to be coming up, right? And so seeing a guy like Ben out there do it with a more traditional look, I love it. I don't know what you feel about that.
Well, that's a good point, and I don't wanna call Jackson Coyven short because I don't know
No,
how
no.
tall or short he is, but when I see slow-mo or when I see the freeze picture of Coyven impact,
Mm-hmm.
my first thought is, what is that gonna feel like when he's 28? Now, I've met guys that were in insane there's a caddy out there, I don't know if he's still out there, but he's kind of a lifer. His name's John Lamani, a Jacksonville guy, and one of those just kind of I don't wanna say super freak athlete, but the guy was like a gym rat, so he could do all the crazy stuff and super fit, right? Like, super fit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, doesn't eat bread and one of those weirdos, But the guy had to have
Hey,
his hip
now.
replaced when he was 30. I know, I'm sorry. The guy had to have his hip replaced when he was 30 years old. Now, he was caddying a
Ollie
lot.
Schneiderjans.
He was like a long drive guy, but genetically not everybody's built the same. And I worry when I see some of these young kids and their swing, and I know they're good. And we're kind of getting off the subject here a little bit, but I look at a guy like Ben James. He's blessed with a big frame, 6'2"
Mhm.
ish. He doesn't have to try to maximize every ounce of every iron. I think there's some guys that have gotten lost in the speed have lost that ability. So it's just refreshing to see a young guy that hits shots like that. And again, this is no disrespect to all the other young guys. I haven't watched y'all as much as I've watched Ben because my buddy's not caddying for you. So maybe
Correct.
I am missing how you hit your iron shots, but in the time I've watched Ben, the way he approaches his iron game is phenomenal.
Mhm.
And, not that this is a secret. If Ben James gets hot with a putter, he will win events by 6 or 7 shots. Like, in my opinion, we're watching a guy, elite ball striking,
Mhm.
elite. Now he
He hits
putts
it
with a
close a lot.
he does, and he putts cross-handed claw. Never seen the left hand low
The
claw
inverted
grip.
claw?
Inverted. I don't know how you.
Wow. Wow, yeah.
Yes.
If you guys are watching on
So,
YouTube, check these
yeah,
motions
Timmy.
out.
Well, Timmy will be hopping on here shortly, and we can
Oh,
we can
beautiful.
ask him a little bit about that. But yeah, it's just fantastic watching. Back on, we'll get on back on track with this a little bit. I know I'm rambling a little bit, and Timmy's coming back on. But the Wyndham, you're seeing guys' careers not necessarily come to an end, but like Jason Day,
Good.
done.
Yeah.
Tony Finau hanging on by a thread. And I know we've approached this subject a lot with Tim. We're talking about how do we get these superstars the credit that maybe they deserve. Because the fact of the matter is, my mother-in-law knows who Jason Day is. She has no idea who everybody on the leaderboard in the top 20 is right now.
Right.
We made Jason Day a star. How do we do it with these younger kids? There's so many of them. Is that necessary? Are we that as golf fans? Do we need a Patrick Mahomes or someone to jump on? You
Star
talk to
power.
guys that love. Yeah, I mean, but the reality is, if we're golf fans, we love good golf.
Right.
If we're the casual guy, we need someone to attach to, right? Like a Messi in soccer, so to speak, right? Like, these are world-renowned stars that maybe you don't know anything about the sport, but hey, I've heard of this guy. Golf is each year that goes by, golf is eliminating I've heard of that guy. There really aren't many I've heard of that guys left on the leaderboard. You're not seeing Justin Rose and Lee Westwood and all the guys that we know. That's not who you see anymore. And for
It kind of
true golf fans, you look at this leaderboard for a guy like myself who loves golf, right? I see Bo Hostler. My first thought, God, I remember when he was 17 at the U.S. Open.
Olympic.
Ben
Yep.
James is young. Doug Gim. I think Doug Gim was the number 1 amateur in the world and the best player
He
at
was.
Texas. And there's like
Yep.
4 guys on that team that are, have done some things. Greiserman, don't know anything about him, but he seems to be on the
I went to
leaderboard a lot.
Duke. Yeah, went to Duke, was a phenomenal player,
There you go. You got Sahith Theegala, a young guy, love him. What a round he had, round 1. No pars
Mhm.
on the front, 8 birdies and a bogey, and then pars 10 through 17 and birdies 18. Now, there
What a
was a
card.
stat. Yeah, Richie, I don't know if you knew this. Had he parred 18, he would have been the 3rd guy that played the front 9 without a par and parred every hole on the back since 2001.
Wow. That's a hell of a stat. Nice job,
I agree.
PGA Tour, and great find,
Yeah,
Panda.
and the fact that 3 guys had done that, 2
Yeah.
prior.
That's crazy. What are the odds
they
of
were
you going 9 straight pars anyway? I mean, how many guys do that? I mean, I'm sure there's one a week.
I
Probably,
did
but,
that the other
like,
day.
yeah, isn't that the most annoying thing of all time for a good player? I mean,
I
if
made
you
like
go out there and you
13 straight
stripe it,
We'll see ya. Well, I tell you
hey,
this.
shout out by the way, great playing this week, man. A little short on the qualifier, but again, back out there, post a number, something in red numbers at any USGA qualifier. You deserve a tip at the cap. Tough
Thank
joint.
you.
Not
As
a
I
lot
told
of
my
spots
wife,
given.
she said, "How'd you play?" I said, "I just saved us $7,000."
That's a fact.
But the Lido Cub would have been cool. Look, man, and we can get in this for another show. It's always cool to be out there and compete. The guy that was playing behind me and qualified was literally half my age, 25, straight off the tours. And good for him. I'm not going to bitch about that. We've talked about this enough, but yeah, it's fun to go out and compete. I love competing. Would I've loved to make more putts? Yes, but really, I played really good. Like, I played really good, hit a lot of really good shots, and frankly, hit a lot of really good putts. So, when you shoot 69 or any score under par wherever you're playing, you obviously hit it well. And if you shoot 69, you probably could have shot 65, but I don't play that shoulda game. Could I have played better or scored better? Absolutely, but I didn't. And that is that for me in my mid-am quest for this year. So I have to either wait for these USGA guys to lower the senior age, or I'm just going to have to keep playing with these 25-year-olds, which I don't mind at all. Back to the leaderboard, Billy Horschel hanging in there, T4. I don't know if you can look this up while I'm talking. I don't know where Billy Horschel sits on the FedEx. But there are a lot of guys that are
107.
Okay, so there's some guys, and I don't know
Before
how
you do this, help me
like,
out here because I want to know this
okay.
better. I don't understand this quietly. Is next year, are we 120 and is that tier 2 or are we waiting one more season?
I think it's one more. When Timmy hops in,
we'll ask him.
We'll ask him. That's kind of a question for him. So let's talk about a few more things before Timmy does jump on. He can figure out how to use a computer in Greensboro. So with this, are you pulling up the FedEx? Go ahead.
Yep. No, so just to let everybody know, this is the last regular season event. Obviously, if you're not, tuned in here, Wyndham is your last chance to get in the FedEx Cup. And with that being said, we got 3 events this year: FedEx St. Jude in Memphis. Then we got the BMW in St. Louis, of all places. And then we've got Eastlake, which is in Atlanta. So my initial comment is get you an extra towel on the bag because it's literally going to be the hottest FedEx Cup of all time. I mean,
if I was,
yeah, is it not brutal, bro?
Bro,
is that not brutal?
I'm looking at these. I'm looking at these dates.
Yeah,
I don't want to speak for Tim, but we were joking. And I said, he's like, oh, man, it's been brutal 7 weeks in a row. And I said, well, knowing your luck, Ben's about to win this thing, and you're not going to be home until September. You're going to lose about 45 pounds. If I went to caddy FedEx, BMW, and Tour Championship back to back to back, what does that start? August 13th to August 30th, 17 days. I guarantee I could lose 35 pounds
easily
in that stretch.
With a proper diet? Yeah. No cheeseburgers, no beer? 50 probably.
All right. Well, believe me, if I walk TPC Southwind, I'm grabbing a burger if someone gives it to me. But the whole point is, that is a
brutal hot stretch.
Look, everybody, you want that tour life. Look, it's good, right? Being a caddy, if your guys playing good, it's good. But you're talking you're talking at least one loop on this course by yourself, just scouting it, 2 9-hole sessions with your guy, and then 4 rounds in.
Well, hold on now.
Memphis.
Hold on. Let me back you up a little bit because you've done a little caddying yourself, but don't forget Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You got to go around it before the round, bub. Unless you're in the morning on it, you got to go around, check the pins, and watch a couple balls. And if you're really going to be good at it, that's what Timmy taught me is get out there on Thursday morning if you're in the afternoon and see the flags, watch the holes. So shout out to Tim for that, and also Lance Bailey. He's over on Live Now, but you got to get out there and see the ball that day. It's crazy.
You're definitely right about it. I guess I was thinking more of a strenuous walk. Like, honestly, the best time a caddy ever has is when he's walking by himself with no other players. Let's be honest.
Amen.
He can kind of collect his thoughts and see what's going on. You're totally right. You are on your feet. You're probably in the neighborhood of 30-ish thousand steps a day. Maybe more, maybe 30 to 40 per day, every day for literally, let's just call it 17 days in a row. So, I've done a stretch like that at Bandon as a caddy, dub. But guess what? Bandon never got over 71 degrees. I wasn't
in long sleeves
carrying a tour bag. My God, that to me.
Well,
honestly, if Justin Rose called me right now and was like, Chipper, you want to come to Memphis? I'd be like,
yeah, I'd have to second guess that.
Can I meet you in like You wanna play in that, Napa Valley event, Justin? I'll come meet you
You
there.
wanna go hang at the winery and play a caddy for me? Sure. And
Man,
that kinda
wow,
boils
that is
into
a big long stretch.
that boils right into my question of kinda
Okay, go
number
ahead.
1, as a fan, I'm not going to Memphis. I've been to the tour championship. God bless them. They're trying hard to change it. It's the worst event of all time. It is a corporate shellacking. It is
Well,
if you work
FedEx,
for
yeah.
Coca-Cola or anybody who's a partner of that, great. Go once, drink the free beer, have a good time, but you're not walking East Lake for fun. And so that brings it to me as a fan. You're watching guys, they're gonna talk about the Heat for the next 3 weeks online. Like, is this
Mhm.
what we want? No, it's not. And
Mm-mm,
now we got the tail of or
mm-mm.
the beginning of football season coming. So my question to the crowd, and we're gonna put this on Instagram too for a poll, and I start with you, Panda. Are we really excited to see these next 3 weeks, or is it? Or we do we even care? Is it football season and we're done with golf?
I mean, no.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree.
A like you said, I mean, I don't wanna get into this, but the National Guard, the only city that nobody really complained about sending the National Guard to was Memphis. Like, literally,
Valid.
nobody's in Memphis, like, "Keep these National Guards out there." They're actually like, "You know what? We kinda need them here." So, I know everybody's been shitting on Memphis and the NBA, and I'm not here to do that or say that because I have some friends from Tennessee, and I'm sure there's some areas of Memphis that are beautiful, but if you think that I want to walk out in TPC Southwind on a Friday afternoon when it's 109 and the heat index. And I mean, no, that's just, there's nothing about that golf tournament other than the facts that FedEx is the sponsor and that's the home of FedEx.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's
And
no
shout out,
excitement to
listen,
it
we're trying to
because
help St. Jude. It's going to be a great tournament. We do the
no,
shoes for the
no, no, no,
kids,
no.
and we don't take away from
Of
that because
course,
this
of
is,
course, of course.
but
We're
we can do
talking.
St. Jude location here.
Well, look, everybody should be donating to charity, and if anything is, if you don't know where to put your money, find out. Just send it to something that helps children, whether they're sick, whether they're hungry, it doesn't matter. I don't want to sound like Whitney Houston, but the children are the future. If you're going to put your money somewhere, hopefully it's going to help a child because the ones that need it the most.
I'm gonna give a quick
But
shout out here to that
yes,
real quick.
go ahead, go ahead.
I got a friend out in Montana who she's doing some really great work. For her little boy's name's Loic, and yeah, she and I went to college together, and they have raised multiple millions of dollars since he has gotten disease. Their Loving Loic Foundation is always looking for help. So if you need a place to put money, shout out Loic, shout out Shireen. Keep doing your thing. Love you guys. See you.
Yeah, and this I don't want to jump the gun here, but one of my goals when we started this podcast was one to commit to every week, which by the way, I think this is 19 or 20 in a row. So that already is a
It
milestone
is.
for us. But um we're gonna do some sort of a Christmas event and toy drive for kids. Everything that we do that's gonna have anything to do with a charity will be for children always. I know there's a lot of great causes out there, and believe me, I've had family that's been touched by cancer and this, that, and the other. But as a father and someone who is just that stuff moves me more than anything, whether it's seeing kids with
Amen.
disabilities or kids should just need a chance because their parents are terrible. That's not their fault. Um, toys for tots, all that stuff, St. Jude, all that stuff. We are, like I said, my goal is have a big event this Christmas, which we'll start talking about that in the fall. And if you've never done anything like actually show up to a hospital with kids and hand them presents, it's pretty. It'll rip your heart. But it's just a good reminder of how fortunate we all are to do silly stuff like have a podcast called God Bless Golf. But we love the game, and we want to give back in that way. So I know I get a little rantish and talk long when it talks about kids, but that's something that's always going to be close to me. So
Yeah, we love it.
moving forward,
Moving forward, we got Timmy Tucker in the
let's.
channel. We're gonna go ahead and bring in our superstar for the day.
Yeah, how do let's see. Where is he now? Where is he now? Here we go. And how does this keep happening where he gets on, but he's not on?
Sorry,
Let's
we'll
see.
edit.
He's
We'll
on
edit it out
show
if
on
need be.
stream. Here we go. Timmy. Nope.
He's always in the chat.
Yeah, he's always in the chat. I'm going to send him a text. Try doing it again, Timmy. I love this.
Listen, it wouldn't be God Bless Golf episode 19 without a small technical difficulty issue,
Yeah.
as we know. This is no longer a phase, a fad, or something we like to do. We are in it to win it,
No,
ladies and gentlemen.
this is
So
just funny. Yeah, I love it. I'm gonna try to resend him the link. Go ahead and start talking about our next subject while I try to dial in our resident
resident
computer
expert.
expert.
Yeah, no. So obviously we had a touch of football. Changing gears here. We had a touch of football coming back at us with a Hall of Fame game. Want to give a shout out to the inductees here: Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Roger Craig, Luke Kuechly, and Adam Vinatieri. Got a text from you this week saying nothing like feeling old when you watch Luke Kuechly go in the Hall of Fame, and that's the truth, right? He was a young player we were watching growing up or watching while we were adults. But I'm gonna give a big shout out to Larry Fitzgerald. Larry Fitzgerald's got a really cool post NFL career going. He's got photography. He's kind of divulged some of his interests there, but he is a huge golfer. And Larry, listen,
Yes.
we love to have you on the show. Love to link up
Yes.
whenever we can get out there in Scottsdale. I'm sure we'll be out there at some point, but love to see these guys as good or bad as their golf swings are. Get on Instagram, get on the TikTok, post their golf stories, share with their experiences with the game. Brings a little bit more of a human element to the greatness that these guys are from an athletic standpoint. As golf humbles us all, but shout out to the new class. Chipper, did you catch any of the game? Obviously not always nothing relevant, but always fun to see the pigskin get in the air.
Yeah, well, I bet the over because why not?
Oh, why
So that
not?
was pretty exciting.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I was
First wager of the season is a W, which we got to
first
talk wagers.
hey, real quick, by the way, for those that listened last week, I specifically told everybody bet against the Dodgers money line in August because this is just an extended preseason until they
That's
get to
correct.
October. They have now lost 7 in a row. I think if you were 100 a money line against the Dodgers the last 7 days, you'd be up $13,000. But anyway, or excuse me, 1,300.
It seems
Yeah,
to be
it
it
was
seems to be a yearly August for the Dodgers. Last year they lost 7 in a row again as well, and they won the World
well,
Series. So
I mean, basically every point of the season that's like a significant, whether it's 80 games, 110 games, 70 games, their record is pretty much identical every year through 100 games, through 110.
really,
Um, yeah, I mean they were 65 and 49 last year, and now they're 60 or whatever. I don't even know what their
hmm
record is, but it's
yeah,
pretty comparable each year. And what they're, guys are coming back, this, that, and the other. And let's face it, every team they're playing, they're pumped up to play the Dodgers, but these teams are in a run to try to make the playoffs. Like they don't know they're already in the playoffs. Now, will the Dodgers win a game and maintain it and probably get in the playoffs? They probably will. But August, teams with big leads, it's impossible to try to create that juice in games 110 through 130. I mean, it is a brutal sport, playing in the heat, all this stuff. So, um, yeah. So anyway, back to the football game. It was exciting to see some football. Larry Fitzgerald is just an absolute legend. He loves golf. One of my favorite stories is literally a guy played with him like 5 or 6 years, and they asked him how many times he saw Larry Fitzgerald drop a ball in practice, and he said never. He's like, actually, yeah, I don't think I've ever seen him drop a pass. The guy has hands of golden hands. I mean, I don't know what else you want to call it. The guy is just a badass. He loves golf, which makes him even cooler.
10 and a
So
half
yeah,
inches if you want to know his hand size, palm to tip. I mean, good Lord, isn't it?
yeah. I mean,
I'm sitting here looking
that's
at
like
my own
NBA.
hand going,
Like people want to talk why Michael Jordan was so great. I mean, there was a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons was that ball was in his hand like a golf ball, and he could just float in the air with it around. He didn't have to worry about that thing ever falling out. Um,
right.
those are those are gifts that you cannot train for that. So shout out Larry. Love Drew Brees. I'm not going to go on my Nick Saban rant because I think he's an overrated coach because he ruined the Dolphins. And he chose Dante Culpepper over Drew Brees. So truth be told, was it a wonderful thing that Drew went to New Orleans? Probably great for the city. We would have somehow screwed him up in Miami. So shout out to him. Adam Vinatieri, clutch kicker, hard to keep him out. There's a couple of other guys got in. But yeah, the NFL, the Hall of Fame, it's just so cool. You see these guys year after year. Uh, and yeah, it's just the start of the season. I can't quite get there with college football yet because for one, none of the games count, so they're just scrimmaging. And two, Um, I don't know who any of these guys are. And we've talked about this before. Like at least with the NFL, you kind of, oh yeah, he's been there for 2 years. They drafted him a couple years ago. I mean, college football, these guys. The quarterback for FSU was playing for Auburn last year,
Yeah,
and they say he's
Ashton
better than the
Daniels.
quarterback that had transferred from Boston College or whatever. So, um,
Well, this is
the
this
one
is
thing,
an eye-opening thing for me is I looked at
yep,
the Heisman favorites just because I'm just thinking about an early
sure,
wager on Arch
sure.
Manning. I mean, why not? And the odds-on favor is a guy I've never heard of. Sorry, I like to think I follow college football a decent bit. We're not going to
Who
call it
is it?
ins and outs. It's the Notre Dame quarterback. Do you have any clue who that is?
I said a kid he transferred from somewhere. What's his name?
CJ Carr. So, sounds like I think it's Derek Carr or what's the older Carr's son? I don't know. That may be information
I
I'm
have
just
no
searching
idea.
for. But again, who is he? Well, it's not. We're not looking at Ricky Williams coming off a 2,000-yard season coming back. We're not looking at Peyton Manning or any of those guys coming back. It just
Mhm.
we don't know where anybody is anymore. As an Auburn fan, knowing what we just went through, basically bringing the entire USF team to our city, I'm
Mhm.
super stoked about it. But I couldn't tell you who our starting running back is, and that's egregious for typically for an Auburn fan. And looking forward to seeing the new faces and hopefully bringing some wins. But as a fan, have we lost the? Are we losing the grip on our teams, or are we losing the ability to follow because of too much things are happening nowadays?
Yeah, it's tough because, like you said, you don't know who these guys are, and that's okay. They're doing what they're trying to do, just better their lives, and I don't mind kids doing that in the portal, but as a fan, it's kinda hard to grasp. And again, we're from the days where we remember, Cam Newton, to be honest, was the first guy that I can remember that, like, showed up and we were like, "Where is this guy from?" And then you're like, "Oh, yeah, he was at Florida, got kicked out, went to junior college." And I'm not saying that was the start of the portal because that was way before that. But he was kind of the first, and at least that I can think of. It was normally in college football, the quarterback that ended up winning the Heisman, you're like, "Oh, I remember him as you remembered kind of his path." And then it became, redshirt freshman Johnny Manziel, then redshirt freshman Jameis Winston, and then ever basically the last 13, 14 years, it's just imploded to where this space is now, where guys are, kind of coming out of nowhere, winning the Heisman. I just don't think the interest is there. I think the hype is there for ESPN. They want to pump it up. Look, everybody loves to talk about Notre Dame. Notre Dame has somehow figured out a way to make the playoff without even really having to
Playing
play.
anybody?
Kind of like
Yeah.
a Kinda like a high handicapper wanting to know they're gonna win the member guest before they show up. That's kinda what Notre Dame is. Sure the guy's a good coach. They're allowed to spend money. I doubt they have the same academic standards as they used to now that they're paying these guys, so they can really compete with other teams that have been doing this for a long time. Um, yeah, it'll be more of a wait and see. Like, I'm really excited for the NFL and college football. It's kind of a wait and see if it's gonna my excitement, and it
Yeah.
really has nothing to
What
do
week are
with
you going to get?
FSU.
What week is it? I guess now with the playoff system, I'm going to believe that a two-loss team can get in. You know, so if you start three
Yeah.
and two and sweep the deal coming home, you got to think that they're going to get in. So it is a little better in the first couple of weeks, knowing that if you lose one, versus BCS, as we always say, as you and I like to say, at least they always got it right, right? Um, but you could not lose. That you couldn't lose, and I
Mhm.
think being perfect is hard in college football now with the way that things go. But if you don't have a level scheduled game, I think this is where this is going to change the next couple of years with evaluation of teams and talent. Is who you playing? How are we going to prove that we're a playoff team? And did we beat Sisters of the Poor at homecoming, or did we go play a real game, right? And so those are all going to matter. I think a couple weeks in, you can still feel okay at 3-2 if you're there, if you're a top team with a good chance to run it. But how many weeks, for the average college football fan, for no disrespect here or anything, but for a team like, oh, I don't know, Mississippi State, you know, somebody middle of the road or like a North Carolina, how vested are these fans in going to Chapel Hill for the weekend? Because I don't see the turnouts on Saturdays that I see anymore on the ESPN games or the night games or the Thursday games because my team, the conferences don't matter anymore. And so are we losing college football fans? I don't think so. I'm not going to talk about that. That's a topic for elsewhere. But it certainly doesn't. It was cool to see. You remember the first week of the year, usually in the 90s, it was Colorado against Colorado State, night game, always on ESPN, always first. Or there was an early Air Force game, and you kind of spread the love around. I don't think we have that anymore. I think we're losing our love for the small rivalry, the small college game, the one that matters. Hey, my team's going to be 8-4, but I'm going to grab a couple games this year, take the family, and the stadium's still going to be packed. I don't think we see that anymore, and that probably has more to do with prices and how much it is to take a family to a college football game. But certainly a little disappointing for me. I don't know how you feel about it, but it's I'd like to see some more people in the stands. Let's get our kids out there and show them what's up.
Yeah, I think what you're having now is the influx of money into college football can be seen everywhere. You have guys that have been older than me
Mm-hmm.
that have been donating to these programs that are going into these college stadiums that, frankly, and they're starting to change them, like Florida, like Doe Campbell at FSU has been completely renovated to make it a real fan experience. The Swamp at UF, which if you've never been is like being inside a racquetball court. It's a large concrete, hot, most uncomfortable stadium you'll ever go to. It's hard for teams to play, but if anybody said, "Oh, I had the greatest experience watching the University of Florida play a football game," they're lying because you're literally this close to everybody. So what do the wealthy
Mm-hmm.
people do? They're in the box. I want my
Mm-hmm.
private seating. I want this. I want that. And so then these football stadiums and programs are saying, okay, well, we better make the fan experience better because let's be honest, football is best watched on TV. Most sports are, just like golf. You can get a 60-inch TV for $400 now, whereas to try to go see, even use your Mississippi State, North Carolina, if that game's in pick the city, you're still paying a couple $100 if you're bringing your fans, your parking, everything's inflated, the price, this, that, and the other. And then you're going to go sit outside in Mississippi in September for a noon kick and just melt away. Like, the experience has to change at the park. Baseball was one of the first sports to recognize that as they started. It's cheaper to go to a baseball game, but as you know, there's family fun zones at every baseball stadium. Now, granted, you're not hanging on every play in baseball like you are in football, but you got to make
Until
the
postseason, then
experience.
we are.
Yeah, you got to make the experience worthwhile. The ticket prices are insane. There's just a lot of things, and not to mention all of these teams are funding $40 million rosters, building $2 billion football facilities. The
Enterprises,
tickets are
yeah.
going to get more expensive. I mean, everything's
Yeah.
just getting now parking. They have to figure out a way to get this money. Does it change from the fan? No, because when you show up, as you know, I'm like you show up on a Saturday in a college football game and you're ready for that rah-rah spirit. And usually that lasts until kick. Really
Right.
college football, the funnest part
Until
of
you
a
can't get your
college
first
football
drink.
Saturday is, yeah, exactly, until you got to go wait in the line to get a liquor drink. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Point being, now to be fair, the NFL experience was probably triple the cost. I'm not
God,
saying the
yeah.
NFL is cheaper, but yeah, it's just an interesting space of where we are, especially in college football, just because of the money that's involved, and
Mhm.
someone's going to have to pay the bill, and they're going to put it back on the fans.
Yeah,
This is crazy.
100%.
I don't understand how Tim,
I don't
like, you
understand how we
link
can't
in
get him
every
in.
time. Well, he said he's logged into Riverside, so I was like, log off Riverside and just click the link. So we'll see if that works.
Yeah, I've
Um,
never logged in when I click the link.
yeah, it,
It probably creates his own studio or something.
yeah. I think that's what happens because he's like, I can hear you, but I can't get in. Go to email and click link, and we'll see how that works. Hopefully, Tim will join us. Hey, just so y'all know, Tim is here. Like, Tim can hear us. He's getting the vibes from us. So, hopefully, we'll get this, get him on for at least a few minutes. But go ahead. What do we got next, Spice? What else is out there that we wanted to discuss on this show that people are dying to hear?
I think everybody wants to know what is going on with basically, the fall golf. I got a segment in here that I'm kind of coming at you blind with here, but
Bring it.
Fall golf's a really, really weird time down here in the South. I had a friend here this week, and this is where it kind of chums from. Told him to bring his sticks up. Let's get some golf in. Call one course. Hey, we're air fine right now. Bermuda greens, right? You got to get it done.
Mm,
And then
yeah.
it rains 3 days in a row, and now it's wet and soggy. It's like we look forward to our Saturdays in the fall for football, Sunday mornings at the golf club, or getting a tea time. It's like what we've got. I've got a member guest coming up in September, but what is the break point where we actually get to enjoy fall golf? Are we? Is this the most played
Mm.
season? We had a real hot debate about is summer golf? Is summer a golf season in Georgia? And I say no. I say
No.
no, it's not. I say it's fall, winter, and spring, and then summer is the time to watch it rain and do whatever. Now, Florida is different. I have on here, don't ask Chip this question because heat and humidity don't apply to Floridians. However, for those of us in the rest of the world who are below the snow line, but in between that happy medium, we don't play golf right now. And I don't think we want to go out and play in the wet slop. I'm on a rant here. I'm sorry, I hate it. It's my time of year to hate golf. Because it is awful conditions. I got to go pick it out of the mud or deal with a rainstorm and on hard clay, and I'm just not interested in it. So I don't know. I know how it affects you guys on the coasts and a ton of rain down there. But when do you guys consider fall golf? When do you guys consider the golf season break for you? Is it October truly down there now, or does it stop raining anytime soon?
I mean, it's usually after the last hurricane, but we've had hurricanes as late as November. So I
Right.
would consider fall golf for me post. Now, there'll be some days in October where maybe, you know, yeah, it's post Halloween to Masters week. Let's call it May 1st. I mean, it's hot in April in Florida, let's be honest. I mean, it can be hot on Christmas Day, but um yeah, until we get like my birthday is September 20th and September 21st is considered the first day of fall. I'm literally my birthday's the last day of summer.
Right.
Um yeah, I would say give me 2 to 3 weeks after my birthday, that mid-October towards Halloween is from a golf season, everything has been punched. We're done with all the punching at our clubs right now, so that's good.
And now you're just getting flooded. Is that the deal?
Yeah, I mean, it just rain. The rain we've had in the
Yeah.
last couple of days is insane. I'm talking like an inch of rain in like 45 minutes, black skies. Now, temperature went from 101 to 73 degrees yesterday
Yeah.
in
That's
in
crazy.
in 40 minutes.
And
Um,
that brings me to a good point here because I'm gonna go ahead and establish or don't be that guy for this week.
do it.
I don't want to hear a phone call at 2:45 on a Thursday saying I got a 3:30 tea time with the forecast that it is or in and around my area, which is pop up thunderstorms every afternoon. And be like, oh man, I got a great deal. I got this, that, that. Oh yeah, let's go out there. We're gonna get a quick round in. Quick round of what? Quick round of drinks? I'm not going to play golf in the rain. Don't call me to play golf so I can go look for your $2 Pro V1 in the woods while it's piss pouring out here, and you're gonna look at me and say, "Isn't this fun?" No, it's not. No, it's not fun. Not one bit. I want to. I don't. I call me a snob. Call me a weather snob. Whatever you want to do. I've caddied too much in the rain. I've held the umbrella. I've played myself. I'm not doing it. Don't call me. And if you want to call me that guy for being a sour, whatever for not playing in the rain, I'm out. I'm just out.
Mhm.
So I don't want
Yeah,
to. I don't want to
I
spend 4.5 hours out there. I don't want to do it. It's just not happening.
no, I agree. I can't. I don't even think of um trying to book a tea time this time of year. I mean, I have guys, hey, you want to play here, gonna play there. I'm like,
Yeah, then pass on
my
that.
my philosophy really is when it starts raining, if it doesn't look like it's a big sell, that's usually when I head to the golf course because that'll get everybody off the course. Um and then when I show up, but it's wet, it's hot, you're sweating, which I guess that part feels good for old guy like me. Keep me loose. But yeah, man, it's kind of one of those things where you look and you're thinking, man, it's only August 8th. Like it
Hmm.
is. I mean, I'm at least 2 months from even thinking of going to the section of closet and wearing the golf shirts that I can wear when it's below 85. Because I don't know if you golfers are like this. There's about 8 shirts I rotate through in the summer because within 30 seconds I'm soaking wet. So, um, some of my nicer shirts don't. I mean, they're in a closet until December. And they get a couple months of wear, and that's about it. But yeah, this heat is tough, man, and it affects everybody. And I'm not saying it's not hot where you are, but it is nowhere near as hot as where I am, because
Not
everywhere
a
I go, when people say it's hot, I'm like, yeah, it's really not that bad. But that's different. I live in a jungle. I mean, this is like, I don't know. This is Florida is a very special place, and I do love it. But if everybody left here for 5 years and we came back, you wouldn't see anything. It would look
not a
like
thing.
the bushes in my backyard. The size of weeds that grow in this state are like, we have 15-foot trees that look like trees across from our house in this
Yeah, I was gonna say,
neighborhood.
for those of
And
you
they're
who
not
don't
trees.
know,
They are
Panda's
not trees.
Panda has
It's a
touched on this before. He lives across from a natural forest, literally,
yeah.
probably 45 to 100 feet where, unkeptness starts. And it is, you thought you're in Dino Land, to be honest with you. You're waiting to see a
It's
T-Rex
it's
come out.
it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, I don't know, unfortunately, I've done everything but email Timmy directly and try to log him
Yeah.
into this show. So hopefully
I
he'll
don't even
figure
see him.
this out. No, I don't know where he is, and I don't think he knows where he is. Um, I'm gonna copy one
How
more
much time you
link
got
and
left?
try to email it to him. I've probably got 15 hard minutes left before we got to pull the plug. I'm heading to Denver to see my daughter, celebrate her 21st birthday. But give me what's next on our agenda to talk about. I
I
know.
was gonna
So
say we
wait,
can
do we
either
go
go
back
into
to the
rapid
"Don't be
fire
that guy"
or
that plays at 3 o'clock in the afternoon? You know, I kind of like that afternoon, but making a tea time with that, I think that's a little crazy to me. But anyway, yeah, go ahead. Take us on to what is next. And let's see here. One
yeah,
more
no, I
chance.
can take us right. All right, give him one more try. I'll wait because I really want to interview him.
Yeah,
Not
I
that he's
know.
gonna say anything different, but
No, I
I
know,
don't
and I
understand
just
why he's
don't.
having trouble.
I don't know. Like, you can log in, I can log in, and he's sitting there. He's like in some chat. So let's go.
It's not like we ever had problems with 3.
We've never had. No one's. He's the only person that's had this issue. Um, I'm gonna just tell him we only have a few minutes left, but want to talk. Um,
We could also try to end this one and post the podcast, and then we could just try to do an interview session real quick. You wanna
well,
try
if he
that?
can get in, I don't know, but I mean,
That's what I'm
he can't get.
saying.
He says I'm in the studio, but he's like he can hear us, but we can't see him, and I just don't understand how I send you a link and you pop up.
He's in
We've
the
sent him.
audience. Okay, hold on. He's in the audience.
How do we get him out of the opposite? He's like, this app sucks. I'm like, dude,
Yeah, so I mean, it doesn't though.
it doesn't. No, I don't understand how he.
It's gotta
See
be
what
on
you
his
can find
computer.
on your end. It is.
Yeah. You got your phone or using your computer for the
I'm
camera?
using my phone for this.
Oh, okay. All right, stand by.
So let's try one more try as we. Let me see. Can you request? It says request a live call in.
Do it.
Let's see if he can do that. I'm like, dude, get off the app.
That's the problem, is in the
That's the
app.
problem.
Get off the app.
You need to get off the app.
Just follow the link via your browser. Yeah, don't even install. I don't even have the app installed on my phone because of that.
Yeah.
I literally, when I post clips on content, I have it. I
Yeah.
reinstall the app and then do it.
But it's still like I don't know. I don't understand. Like we got this public chat going on. We got
Like,
Timmy
is there
who's
no?
here.
Yeah, there's like no way to get somebody out of the. Is there any way on the bottom 3 where it says people panel? You see that?
Bottom
Where you put
3.
the
No,
3 dots
people.
on the bottom right?
Yeah, no, it says in studio too. It doesn't even, and when I'm clicking on people, it doesn't even show that Timmy is there. There's a chat.
I
There's
see
the
2 members in the audience, and I see you and me.
Where do you see the audience members?
I wish I could show you this, but
Well,
I'll
that's
screen.
fine.
Oh,
It is what it
I'll
is.
screenshot it.
Because I'm looking at people, I'm looking at chat, I'm looking at stream, brand, text, media settings.
Somebody just left.
Okay. Well, maybe that's it. So now it says audience, 2 audience, God Bless Golf, which is you, and Chip
Yep.
host, which is me.
Yep.
All right. So it shows that he left.
It shows one more in the audience, right? That's him. It's like, how do we get him out of the audience? Because there's 3 people in here.
Well, it says
just
he
feel
can request to call in, but I mean, let's see how that works, right?
Yeah,
Like,
sure. Do it. Send
it
it.
says 0. We'll see what he. Okay, so let's go a little. Let's go. What's next? Try to hold off till rapid fire. What else do we got to touch on before we move on from this interesting episode here?
Yeah.
Okay,
I think I got a couple
go
questions.
ahead.
I got a couple questions for you. Kind of getting a little bit of a preview for the MLB playoff picture. There's some hot chat about the MVP. Is it Shohei or is it going to be PCA, Pete Crow Armstrong? Numbers are super similar, but one does 2 things and one does one thing, right? And so I think that brings the debate into what is the MVP for baseball now? Is it truly because Shohei would win it every year. He is the most, if he's pitching and hitting throughout the entire year, there's no way he's not the most valuable player in baseball, right? Like literally to the term of the acronym, right? But secondly, being valued to your team, right? Being the most valuable player to a team might be a different way of topic. So you got to vote. You're a baseball writer. You got to vote for MVP. I know you're a little bit biased for a Dodger fan.
Yeah.
And, if Acuna was up there smashing 50 homers, I'm sure I'd be like, oh, he's the MVP too. Do you think that the MVP should be looked at on a team-by-team basis and say this guy is bringing, a database stat is bringing, 0.665, more than the next guy, or he's 60% of this reasons that this team is what they are? Or are we just looking at it, from the site perspective? What do we see is what we get? Or should we be doing a deeper dive into who the MVP is and then who you going to vote for?
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously I am biased. Shohei has a under 3 ERA and 25 home runs. I mean, that's hard to argue every year. He could win the MVP every year, but I used to say Shaquille O'Neal should win the MVP every year in those years because there was nobody more dominant. But you get tired of it. And when a guy like a Pete Crow Armstrong, or just pick another guy, I don't know if the Braves have a guy, Acuna, whatever, and if his value on that team is a reason this team is having success, then yeah, he has a live argument for winning that. You know, is he? I don't think he's that good of a player. I think the Cubs play in a little piss box of a stadium, where
Depending on where the wind's blowing too.
offensive numbers are inflated. I just never been a big Cubs fan. I think they're overrated, and I think Pete Crow Armstrong is overrated too. But he's playing well. They're winning some games, and nobody cares. I mean, how many more MVPs does Shohei need? Should he win it every year? I mean, I guess he's the best player that maybe he's ever lived, so it's hard not to give it to him every year, but I don't have a problem with the MVP. It's kind of like the Heisman. I mean, some of these, it's a bit,
Writer's vote.
And what do they call
That
it? Just it's exhaustion of a certain player. Like, no, look, even I love the Dodgers, but like everything Shohei does is going to be everything he does is going to be talked about.
and that brings me up to the follow up here. And the reason I asked this question is because I really wanted to get into this a little bit. Last chance for Barry Bonds, or was the last chance for Barry Bonds to get in the Hall of Fame, I think was this year. Now
Hmm.
I've learned a couple things about how this works. I didn't really understand. I knew it was all baseball writers, but I'm understanding what is the character clause now for the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. Not only do you have to be a good baseball player, apparently you got to be able to have decent character, and you have to talk to all these non-athletic people nicely in order for them to vote for you. Which that blew me off because I'm not interested in talking to in my personal relationships with somebody in order for me to get in the Hall of Fame. I'm interested in whether or not I put bat to ball, struck people out, did whatever was necessary to win the game. So my view now of the Hall of Fame, especially after this whole Barry E60, kind of reveal and the asterisk ball, and the guy from the Hall of Fame who did the whatever you want to call it interview with E60 really rubbed me the wrong way because the Hall of Fame's like, oh well, we're not only the Hall of Fame, but we're a expose for baseball. Okay, well, if you're an expose for baseball and you're the Hall of Fame, the best players or the best stats should be in the Hall of Fame, whether or not you are a part of the PED era or not. I mean, can we talk about the dead ball era, the live ball era? I mean, does this all of a sudden, the fact that Ruth hit home runs with a ball that was wound tighter than I won't say, right? So
Hmm.
I no longer have respect for the Baseball Hall of Fame. I've lost it. I don't think it's fair to vote. I know our good friend Matty Ice will agree with me. Barry Bonds is the best player of all time. There's no doubt about it. Steroids
He's the
don't
best
help you hit.
hitter. He's the best hitter.
Yeah, best
That's for
hitter of all
sure.
time.
Yeah,
Sure,
I would
best
agree
hitter of
with
all
that.
time. I mean, the
Best
guy
hitter
was the
I've ever
MVP.
seen.
Yeah, and the guy was a Hall of Famer before he took PEDs or whatever he took. So
I mean, he
I'd like
took
to
what
hear.
everybody was saying, but yeah.
You know, I'd like to hear what you think. I don't like these writers dictating everything. Number one, they've never hit a baseball in their life, most likely. Number two, I don't think they're right. I don't think a character clause is deserved to be evaluated. So, pretty disappointed in their actions, and yeah, I don't believe in the Hall of Fame anymore for baseball.
Um, yeah, I mean, look, I I've seen Barry Bonds play live. He's the most unbelievable hitter I've ever seen. I hate the Giants, never really did like them. But yeah, I mean, there's guys in that era, everybody, um, everybody was doing steroids, and if everybody wasn't, just about everybody was. So I think you have to have a certain wing in a Hall of Fame, or you have something in there that kind of explains, what's going on. This was the era. This was when it happened. Um, and it's just kind of, I look at a guy like Jeff Bagwell. He doesn't scream Hall of Fame like Barry Bonds.
Oh
You know what I mean?
gosh.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Mike Piazza in there and Bagwell are the two that they reference who were completely, you know,
mhm.
excuse me, who were convicted or found guilty of taking PEDs, and the question that I appreciate Tim Kirchin bringing up, because Kirchin voted for Bonds, was, who you guys going to vote for Big Poppy just because you liked him?
Mhm.
Like, and he's on the ballot next year, right? And so I think at that point, then it creates an unjust level of you know valuing players. I mean, we're not valuing their ability or their stats on the baseball field. We're valuing whether they were nice to a couple of short guys who've never seen a baseball field.
Yeah. Um,
He's doing something wrong.
he's doing something
There's
wrong for sure because I'm sending him the link of what it says. So, um, not hopefully, we will have Tim back the next time we go around, but there's something that he missed, and I am not smart enough to tell him what to do. Um, so with that, let's go into rapid fire because we do have to wrap things up here shortly. Um, Fire away, Richie Spice.
Yep, give it to me right now. You see the leaderboard going in the weekend. You got Hostler, you got our boy Ben James up there. We've talked about a couple other names. Who's going to win it this weekend?
So here's the one thing I love about this, and you have pretty much everybody in the top 1, 2, definitely 4. I don't know where Grazerman is. He seems to have a good year. But you got a bunch of guys that have to win or their season's
Mhm.
over.
Yep.
Ben
Top 70
James,
get through next week?
yeah, top 70. So I don't have
Okay.
the exact FedEx Lincolns.
I've got him right here.
I
So
think Ben is a guy that knows how to win. I think if Ben James plays around today and is near the lead, he is going to win. I think he is playing with house money. And really the only person who'll be upset if he wins is his caddy, because Timmy's going to have to walk in Memphis next week. But I'm just kidding. Timmy will be thrilled to work for another month. Yeah, it's I will say this. If I'm a non-biased guy, it's hard for me not to notice how many birdies Thigala is making. Hey.
look at him.
Look
Hey,
who's
boys.
here,
There
buddy.
he is. Clean, shiny, jalapeno oil ready. Let's go. Timmy Tuck, welcome to the show, my man. How we doing, buddy?
Timmy,
Good,
hey,
boys.
real quick,
What's up?
how did we sound? You listened to our whole show while you're trying to get in. We
Yeah,
Yeah, I
we
sounded
do.
loved
good.
it. I
Love it.
listened. Yeah, I was in
First
and out
time
of
as
it,
a
but yeah.
it's our first live viewer.
Oh, it's so great.
it's
Hey,
good.
do me a favor, Richie. You and Timmy chat for about 3 minutes. I'm going to come back.
Yeah.
I got about 8 minutes left. But
Okay, I got it.
y'all talk some Ben James while I'm gone, and I'll be right back.
I'm gonna kind of retrofit start this or whatever. Obviously, going on, got a great week going on, brother. Good to see you, man. Glad you guys are out there. I'm sure sweating your butt off up there, huh? A little warm.
Yeah, it is hot up here, man. It hasn't been as bad as it has been in the past, but yeah. It's warm.
It's glad you guys are up towards the top. Heck of a round Monday or Thursday, and then a solid one yesterday. What I'm going to be analytical here and just ask you, what do you got to do this weekend that's been different than the last couple of times? You guys have been knocking at the door a bunch.
Yeah, he has been, and he realized that when he gets tired or gets under stress, he kind of gets a lot of weight left, and then the only way to get through is to back out of it, and he hits it right. So he's been working with his coach, Todd Anderson, this week. Big change. And I asked him, is he working on just getting a bigger turn? And he said, right now I've just been trying to slow everything down just a little bit. And he goes, I haven't been thinking of much else because it's been working. So we'll see what happens this weekend. If that's, that's something I'll be looking for to make sure he's not doing that. But his ball striking's been elite. He is like plus 6 strokes gain approach to green. So doing great. Didn't putt great yesterday, but law of averages, man. When you light it up, it's hard to make putts the next day, but he still made 75 feet of putts. So
yeah, we talked about that last week. When you light it up one day, it's hard to come back and break par the next day. So coming back and firing a little 67 off the cuff right there is beautiful, beautiful job. Great work. It's you guys, and are you guys off in twos today? Is that right?
Yeah, we are. We're playing with Bo.
With Bo, any previous? They're not exactly the same age, about 10 years apart, 15 years apart, really. Forgot how old Bo Hostler is, even though he's
Bo's 28.
Okay, so they're not too far apart.
Yeah, five years apart. We play with Bo in Detroit the first 2 days.
Okay, so is that a good thing you think going into today, having a familiar pairing?
Yeah, I think it's great that he played with Bo already. Bo's really relaxed and he's chill. So, and they talk quite a bit when they're playing in Detroit, so it was great. So this should be a really comfortable pairing. I think it's an advantage that we played with them just recently.
What's the weather doing up there today? You guys are obviously teeing off late. We're known for southern thunderstorms. You guys hoping to dodge it, or has it been pretty clear in the afternoons?
It looks like it's going to be good. We're playing in twosomes too, so we tee off at 1:55. We should be done, in under 4 hours. So, looks like we're going to be fine weather-wise.
Yeah, I think that big storm rolled through earlier in the week than they had predicted.
Nice.
So that's good news.
Yeah, it hasn't been as hot, and it's been, it's still hot here, and you get down in 4 and 5 down there where you can't feel any wind, and it's roasting. But no, it's a good golf course. The greens are super fast. They're beautiful. They're steep, as you guys know.
Mm-hmm.
Slopey.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I wanted to ask, when he hold that shot out, are you on the way to the next tee and have him pick up the ball, or do you have to go get the ball?
No, he goes and gets it.
Yes. No
Yeah,
finger pointing.
Are you like, I'll see you on 11, boss?
Yeah. Is that
exactly.
a clause?
I loved it, and it was it
was
was
dirty the way it lipped in. I don't know if you
it
saw
was a
the way it
lucky
caught the
shot,
lip.
obviously.
Of
We knew
course.
we were trying to hit it past the flag to bring it back, but, got lucky. It was a great way to start. I'm like, okay, the first 3, because 10, 11, 12 are really difficult. And like to
Yes.
get, I was like, if we can just somehow get one of those 3, you're off to a great
for
start.
normal humans, that golf course is really hard. Like
Yeah.
Donald Ross. It's so hard for anybody who
Ross,
can't hit a
Yeah,
hit a golf ball.
if you look at the past scores, right, someone's always shot 20, right,
Yeah.
or 21. But then if you look back, like, 12 or 13 under is like 6th, 7th place. So, it gets separated at the top. So, I mean, yeah, look, I think if Ben shoots 3 under, 3 under, he's going to be in the mix. 4 under, 4 under, probably can win it. So,
Well, like you said, someone's going to shoot 20 under, but the cut was 3 under, and somebody's going to finish this week at like 1 or 2 over par, and they'll have played a decent week of golf. So, but I mean, I guess
no
that's
doubt.
true with all. There's always going to be 8 or 9 guys that are playing great golf every week. And I don't know if you guys discussed this, but we were kind of, and I know you were listening, just kind of giving Ben his flowers. Like, man, this guy's been a pro for like 2 months, and he is not a stranger to the first page of the leaderboard. And obviously, he hits it great. And we touched on earlier, I don't know if you heard us, one thing I like about Ben when I watch him play, at least on TV, is how many he never seems to be going full at these irons, and he seems to really have a touch and a feel and how he hits his irons. What's your experience watching him when he's talking in between clubs? And, as you know, our good buddy Mark Dole was always better with a soft something than a hard anything. Soft 6 better than a hard 7. Some guys like to go full speed, but to see him pull back a little bit and take more club and hit these shots that are pin high perfect. There's a feel and a touch to that. That's just something you practice. So what is it about him? And when you watch him hit irons, is it just a confidence, or his move's that good and he just knows how far the ball's going?
No, I mean, his move is great. Everything, the setup's really neutral. He's a big kid. He could, be trying to chase this distance, which he's not. He's trying to chase control, right?
Yeah.
And
doing a hell of a job.
Yeah,
no kidding.
But what we did from Minneapolis, from the 3M, he was spinning his driver quite a bit, and so he took a degree and a half off of it, which makes him hit it just a hint more right than usual. But he's been able to overcome that. I mean, he drives it great. Now his spin rates are, in the 2,500 instead of 33.
Lovely.
So
did he take it from like
a lot.
Did he take it from like a 9 to a 7.5, or like a 10 to an 8.5?
It was like a 9.9.
9.9. Yeah.
And they took it down. It took it down 1.5. But and then with his irons, so what's happening, if he hits a floaty shot or just a normal stock shot, his spin rates with his irons are too much. So he's gotten into flighting it, or what he calls flighting it, just trying to hit it lower, which is taking that spin off. And the control has been way better with it in distance control. So that's been the keys lately.
He was he was clearly, and obviously, Tim, you had a front row seat, and that fourth finish in the Dominican, where that wind is whipping, and he was hitting some shots that, Grant, I've never played that course, but I've had 175 with a hard left to right crosswind, and the way, we all have. Those are hard shots because it's not a full swing, and the way he was pumping those irons, pin high. I mean, he really hits it close a lot. Obviously, we could all make more putts, and I said this earlier, I don't know if you heard it. I mean, when he has a hot putter week, he's going to win a tournament by 8 shots. Like, in my opinion, it seems like that's how well he's striking the ball. Obviously, it's hard to do because there's so many guys that are so good. But I really feel like the way he has control of his golf ball almost makes it, I don't want to say impossible to play bad, but man, I think he's going to keep it inside the lanes a lot easier just because of how confident he is in every yard that ball's going.
Yeah, I mean, he's hit a lot of. He hasn't been as good driving the ball this week. We unfortunately hit it into a bunker on our last hole yesterday, the 9th hole. This death bunker, we're kind of in between. Hit the 3-wood anyway, got in there, but he's hit 30 of 36 greens. His short game is really good. It is difficult to chip out here, man. The grain is so
Bermuda rough, right?
Tough, yeah, and just even the surrounds, they're all mown and they're very difficult to chip on. So, They're trying to stay away from that. So yeah, I've been hitting more, just trying to be more conservative going into greens. But the course is not long. The 2-5 pars are very short. We both hit irons into them. Yeah, eagled them both the first day.
Yeah.
And had 2 eagle looks of no more than 20 feet,
Right.
yesterday.
He's had 4 eagle putts and an eagle so far in 2 days.
Yeah, he's made 3 eagles out of
3 eagles.
And he'll probably have,
For those of you that don't know, that helps the scorecard.
Yeah. So, I mean,
hey, speaking of making things, I got to ask, and I know this is going to be a sensitive subject, so I'm sorry, but how did Ben stumble across, and I'm going to ask this question, and I'm going to follow it up with a Tucker story from Eaglebrook one year. How did Ben stumble upon the reverse claw, and where you got to go to find that in your brain and be comfortable with that? And secondly, one of my favorite rounds of all time, me and you, Timmy, Panda, you're probably there. I think, Matty asked somewhere. Tim comes out with the thumb on top of the putter and the hook grip. And
he's
every time
I guarantee it.
Do you?
What's that?
I call it the nub grip, where you put your thumb on top and then you put the nub through the putter like this.
Yeah.
It's the only thing.
Sometimes I'll do the John Daly whiskey finger down the side,
Yeah. Listen, I've never watched a man
real quick,
say,
though, talk to us about the reverse claw. Talk to us about the reverse claw.
Yeah, I just asked, look, I didn't want to even broach the subject, right? But he was talking about it with his coach, and he can putt one-handed really nicely. So he just goes, look, I knew I could putt really well with one hand. So I just put in my right hand is drives the putter. So I just put my other hand on it just to stabilize it. That was a big deal.
The basketball theory.
You know what's funny?
Left hand's just a guide.
Timmy, it's funny you say that, because I remember one time I was trying the claw, and this is how 77 putting strokes ago. And I remember putting my hand so lightly on the putter. I was like, why is my hand even on this putter? And I don't know if you heard us talking. Finau putted with one hand yesterday and shot 66. Do you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, one-handed all day.
Wow.
And, Tiger, I told the story that Tiger used to say, if it didn't look so weird, I'd have putted with one hand the whole time.
You're right.
And so it's funny you say that, is especially a guy like Ben who clearly has great hands. Why not use them to your benefit? And then the left hand, which is funny, some guys, and I don't know if it's a left eye, right eye dominant. We could probably do a show on this, but I've realized more that when I push that putt through, it's because my left arm is like it's in there taking way too much control, and so it's funny that Ben's gone to that, and this won't be shocking to anybody. I'm going to try that putting stroke here later today. Because I'm always
that
looking
doesn't
for
shock anybody. There's no way.
I mean,
listen, we're gonna get a Turkey Lake update later from PGA's tour, and Panda's gonna have some kind of broomstick with reverse claws.
And maybe there's a superstore in Denver. I'll roll in.
Just find the Home Depot.
Maybe how Nicklaus used to just push the hand toward the hole.
Yeah,
that's kind of what because like Ben he'll get this way, right? Sorry, I'm moving my phone. He'll go like this.
Gotcha.
With the shoulders too, they'll go. So what his coach is trying to keep him doing is just keeping this arm moving as a piston, right?
Mm-hmm.
And letting the left hand or left elbow get out, so his shoulders aren't tilting, and he said something I thought was really good. If you think about people and how we think about putting, if you think of the shoulders as the triangle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or the top, and then the point is at your hands, right? So that's moving. Well, flip it upside down and make the putter the bottom, right? And where the hands are the top of the pyramid, right? And swing it from there. I think our pyramid is upside down. We're thinking shoulders where it should be upside down triangle. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, because I'll tell you one of the things I coach all my kids with. So
you're saying the top of the triangle
right
should be your hands and the putter should be the bottom.
Correct. And the top of the pyramid, like the hands are moving the putter.
I got some stuff to work on, boys.
Yeah, well, and I'll be honest with you, it makes a lot of sense from a physics standpoint, because when you change, if you have too many points of rotation, then you can't have any linear, basically you can't have any linear action going, and putting is linear, right? The less points you can have straight to the ball. So whether that's your hands, reverse triangle, I'd never liked saying, "Oh, my shoulders all the way down to the putter is a triangle." I don't think that's feasible, especially for taller players. We're not bending over, creating that angle to tilt. So if you're
you would
taller,
think of it more with your arms, and here's this triangle, but I
Yeah,
I love it. I love it. And
yeah.
that actually makes a ton of sense. I've seen some guys do, and maybe that's what they're trying to do to reduce torque in their arms. Like where can I get my left arm and right arm where there's no torque in my stroke? And if you think of a reverse triangle, that's
Yes.
basically what the guy's saying. Well, hey,
If you
go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say if you watch any great putter, the other thing too, I think, is they have their shoulder tucked up, their left shoulder's up or it's back, it's out of the way. When they're level, they don't work together. They don't. You have to have your arm. One arm has to be out of the way so that it can be the pillar to swing the putter.
So
So
is that true, Timmy? Where most guys that are putting there is some sort of a tilt, or they're not ever trying to keep their shoulders level, are they?
Well, I mean, like it just like again, it depends on the stroke that you have. But I mean, traditionally, if we think of our shoulders, tilting like this, right? How can that like? I feel like what he's trying to do is just keep the putter level and letting the handle be driven by the right hand toward the target.
So basically,
Like
you're not
which is
trying
what
any
you're
of this. Yeah.
Which is what you're doing with your right shoulder in front of you. Again, it's not level with where your shoulders are, and I'm doing a visual. They're in front of the chest or behind it, right? So
Yeah.
you can get that action down in front of you. I hate the guys that stick their, kind of stick their chest out and then stick the putter out like with T-Rex arms, because
Yeah.
there's no physical
Right, they're
points
trying to control. I've seen that. And then
Yeah.
obviously Bryson has the thing.
Well, Bryson's in front.
Yeah.
That's linear.
And he's
right?
weight left and left elbow low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or left shoulder low.
Hey,
I like to call that cove
Richie,
putting.
get us into rapid fire. I'm on the clock as I got a flight to Denver today to celebrate Addie's 21st birthday. But let's go to rapid fire and clean this up. And so glad Timmy finally made it. I know he heard most of the show. What was the issue, Tim?
I don't know.
Okay.
I kept logging in, and finally,
The issues, we got 3 jocks running a podcast, and we're working on our production team.
Yeah, I thought you.
By the way, if you want to
Richie.
send in your resume, listen, you can send in your resume if you want to do any content creation.
Yeah,
we'll be glad to. We got a trial basis going. Give me a shout. I'll drop an email below here. But anyway, without further ado.
Yeah.
First questions first. Timmy, you probably heard us talk about this. We're going to go back to it. Yes or no? Do we even care about the FedEx Cup?
I mean, I don't know. And I mean, I'd love to be in it so I can make some money, but yeah, no.
As a fan.
No.
Yeah. Two no's right out the gate. Okay. Entering 2006, which college football team are you going to put trust in the most?
2026?
Yes. Entering in the fall of 26. Yep.
Gosh. I mean,
you're right now. You got to have them. It's not even about a wager. You got to put your life on it. The U.
I hate to do this.
God, I'd have to go. I hate to do it too. I got to go Texas. God, I hate Texas.
Okay, so the Horns and the Hurricanes for reliability this year.
That's a game guarantee I ain't watching.
Yeah, no doubt.
I hate to say it, but the U is really good. They're really good.
Yeah, and again, like we talked about, who's their quarterback? Oh yeah,
I don't even know.
Exactly.
Some guy they paid $4 million for.
Yep. I hate, always love these questions, especially when you're in the event, even more so when you're in the hunt. A number that's going to win the Wyndham.
I don't know if it gets it 19 to 20.
I was going to say I think 18 under wins clean. The one thing is you have a bunch of guys that are playing for their life, like to keep it going. I think when those guys realize they're not going to, maybe if some guy's running, and then they'll just start to falter just because that's the nature of this cruel, cruel game we play in.
Yep.
Good point. Good point.
Yep, indeed. Second to last question here. Who is the most overrated team entering the NFL this fall?
Patriots.
Okay. Good answer. Especially with Drake May coming back off a hot season.
I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Let's see. I mean, I would say the Bills, but they're in the. No, I'm gonna go with the Eagles. I think the Eagles. I think their run. They had a run.
Hit each division. I mean, there we go.
I think the Eagles had a run, and I think they think the windows in the NFL close faster than most people realize. And
facts.
So yeah, I'm going Eagles.
All right, last question here for the group. We've discussed a little bit about the heat that is this week at Wyndham and potentially for the FedEx Cup being in Memphis, St. Louis, and Atlanta. Hell's trio of August heat. Hopefully, Tim, you guys get it done and you hop into that top 70. We're all pulling for it. We all know you want to walk all 3 of those golf courses in the heat and do all that.
Jesus.
But when it's this hot outside, Panda made mention that he'd take a cheeseburger still if it was this hot outside mid-round. I'm going to veto that, but what is the go-to snack mid-round when you're caddying and it's 119 outside?
Yeah, Gatorade. Bro, I don't know how
I don't know how
these
liquid.
guys do
I said snack.
I couldn't eat when it's that hot. I couldn't.
But like I'll be out there and I'm just like thinking I'm going to die, and I see this European caddy over there smoking a cigarette, and I'm just like, bro, how are you pulling that poison into your lungs? I can't even breathe right now.
It cools you down. Actually, cool your body down. And the only reason I know that is one time my dad caught me when I was in high school. We were playing a high school match, or not a match, but practice, and we're at International, and me and my buddy Kevin Dunn are walking up the 3rd fairway with a dart. He's like, "What the fuck?" I was like, It's like, Dad, it's so cold. We're just doing to keep him warm. He goes, "Don't you know cigarettes make your body colder?" And then just drove off. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, I couldn't imagine. I know I said, like, when it's that hot, Timmy, on the golf course, I don't understand how guys can eat mid-round when it's that hot. I mean, I'll like nibbling on a granola bar and just swallowing water and Gatorade, but that is so funny. Memphis, Tennessee, my God. How many Gatorades could you drink in an 18-hole round?
Before you drowned?
Dude, I'll tell you what, man. I caddied for Tony last year in Memphis, and last year was not bad at all. And he was like, he goes, "This is so nice." He goes, "I had PTSD, man. I didn't want to come here.
I
was
hear
so
you.
bad."
It was literally like like I saw something on Twitter. Somebody was like, "What's the worst tour event?" And they were like, "Unfortunately, it's FedEx. It's the worst one."
Yeah, it's too bad FedEx headquarters isn't in like Lake Tahoe.
Yeah,
nice
seriously.
Why isn't the FedEx
golf
Cup?
course feels like it's Mount Everest too, and it's really not. It's pretty flat, but it feels like every little 10-foot hill is so big.
Chambers Bay FedEx. Let's do Pacific Northwest FedEx.
That'd be so great. Pumpkin Ridge.
Oh, I'd be sick. I'm in.
I love it.
All right, boys. Well, I'm going to wrap it up on my side. Timmy, first off, thanks for making it in. We are pulling for you today. I know Ben will be ready. I know you're ready and excited, and this is what this guy is prepared for. It's what he's built for, as are you. So sending good vibes to you, and look forward to speaking next week. Richie Spice, great job this week keeping this show together, and
we do what we can. We do.
Look forward to chatting to everybody next week. Once again, to everybody listening, everybody that's been a part of this show, we can't thank you enough. This is episode 19. We're, like I said, scratching the surface, but we're trying to be here every single week to try to get some consistency and hopefully give you guys a laugh or two as we talk about this game that we all love and hate at the same time, and sometimes in the same stretch of 5 minutes. But we love this game, and for all you out there, have a fun weekend. For those in a nice part of the country that are playing golf, please enjoy it. For those of us in Florida, stay in the shade. But Timmy, Spice, God bless golf. Great to see you boys, and we'll talk to you next week.
God bless golf, everybody. Happy National Bowling Day, everybody. Get out there and hit some pins. We'll talk to you later.
God bless golf, boys.
See you, boys.